Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a special look at More Plus. This game's not yet released, so keep that in mind, so nothing here is necessarily finalized, but this is going to be published in the future by THA Games, and this is a little 6-card game that you can play up to 6 players, 2 to 6 players. Well, what do you do with this little game here? This game here is basically like an expansion or augmentation of an existing game or activity. What you're going to be doing in here is you're going to be placing these cards down, and your goal is to try to peek at your card to win. So players are going to be doing the other activity like playing a board game or eating at the table or just having casual conversation, and they're going to have to keep an eagle eye out because if they catch the player, they're out. But if that player is successfully able to peek at their card, they will win. Let's go ahead down to the table here. I'll give you all the rules to the game, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is More Plus. This is incredibly simple, which is going to be good because this is going to be an activity that you're going to play alongside another activity. So your main activity, whether it is like eating dinner or playing another board game or whatever, once you have that activity set up and you're ready to go, you're going to shuffle up this deck and you're going to hand one of these cards out. Now these cards go 1 to 6, and the goal of the game is for you to be able to peek without anyone catching you and be able to announce out that number. Once you're able to do that, you've won the game. However, if you get caught peeking, you're out and you lose the game. If no one is able to peek at their card and successfully peek at their card and say the number, no one wins the game, and you just restart it with your next activity. A couple rules in the game here is that you're allowed to move this card around, but try to keep it on the table or at least visible, because you don't want to move it around underneath the table or whatever. You want to try to move it maybe a little bit closer to yourself or whatever, and then get your opportunity to peek. If you, like I said, if an opponent catches you peeking, you lose the game. If you're able to successfully do this and say the number, you win the game. And that's it. That's going to be how you're going to play More Plus. Like I said, it needs to be simple because it is like an expansion or, an enhancement to an existing game or an existing activity that you'll be doing. So that's it. That's how you're going to play More Plus. Let's go back up to the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts. So More Plus, I really like it. The card quality is This card quality is amazing. This is going to last a long time. It has this nice finish on it, so if you're going to spill stuff, it's not going to affect these cards. At least, if you don't leave it long term. So that's really, really nice. So I like the card quality on this because basically this is going to be the 6 cards. Now again, this isn't the finalized version, so that might be a little different, but in general, I like that. I like this game here for keeping players interacted during board games and card games or whatever you're playing. A couple caveats to that is if you have some of the bigger, heavier, thinkier games, I don't know if this really works really well because I know you can try to break like AP in a game or whatever, but some of the heavier games where players are completely invested and focused on their board, it's really easy for someone just to peek at their card. I know the other players might be like looking at each other during that point, but then they'll be distracted from the game. Where I think this one actually shines is going to be not your fast-paced games where you're going to be turns are really, really quick, and not your really super heavy games, but your games in the middle. The games that are easy to teach, moderately fast, and you want to keep your players engaged. This is a really great game, especially with some of those moderate games there where someone might be prone to just staring at the board and taking forever taking their turn. This seems to break it up a little bit because they're going to be also concerned with the other players and peeking at the cards, so they may actually take their turn a little faster. So I do like that. I do like how it keeps everyone engaged in the game. Great games for this are going to be like King of Tokyo. So you're playing King of Tokyo. That game, I know it's also fast, but there's so much player interactivity on it. You're looking at all your players and stuff, that playing a game like this during it is a lot of fun too, because it just keeps you like hyper interested in all the other players and makes it more social. So this game in general, one of the things it does is it makes games more social. So I guess that goes with the More Plus. So you stay interacted with your other players and you keep going. Another thing that's really cool is going to be some of those Euros where basically you're playing your own solo game. This creates the player interaction that game completely lacks. So it'll keep everyone engaged. They can have fun figuring out their little puzzle to win the game and still be engaged with the other players. So overall, this is a really cool little sort of like augmentation or like expansion for a board game. So I would highly recommend checking it out in the future if that's something you're looking for. It's just great. So if you have any games where like, oh, my player interactivity is low and I like to get people more involved or paying more attention, this is great for that. So that's my thoughts on More Plus. Thank you for watching.